Hello, welcome to Beyond Boundary Lines with Hari Shankar, episode number 3. Okay, today's guest, Mangaliso Mosashle from South Africa. So he played under 19 World Cup, and he has represented South Africa as well. Yes, I'll try to connect him. Before that, if you have any query, if you have any questions to post, please do post it on my comment section. I'll definitely pass on to him. Yes, Mangi is here. Mangi brother, welcome. Hello, brother.
What's happening, brother? You good?
Good, good. How are you?
No, not too bad. Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. All going good. How is the whole lockdown period going on for you?
Yeah, it's been quite tough. It's been quite tough.
Okay.
But we have to do what we have to do. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yourself?
Yeah. I mean, sitting quietly and relaxing, spending time with my family. Yeah, I
Okay.
I see a lot of your posts, playing cricket, even while in your lockdown period. That's something very interesting and very disciplined, which I've always seen in you. You are a disciplined cricketer. Just can you just take me through why you sort of always keep tickling your basics?
Yeah, I think when I was quite young, like I tried to always like dissect and like try to look at like technique and everything else, you know. But I think the older I got as a player, I understood like the basics. Uh, I mean, they always like say like keep things simple, you know. But
Yeah,
when you're young, you just want to learn, you just want to do other stuff. But I realized that like the basics are so important in anything, you know. So I've
yeah,
always been a firm believer in just the fundamentals and just the basics, you know, and keeping things simple. So that's just always been a thing that I've always had when I was young. Not to look too far ahead, but just to keep things simple.
okay. So from under 19 to international cricket, how is the transition been? What is the kind of difference which you see from an under 19 cricket perspective to a international cricket perspective?
I think for me, I mean, of course, I mean, I'm still learning. You know, we can never stop learning
Yeah,
as cricketers. But I think for me, the transition is not necessarily like skill, because I mean, if you play at that level or if you're talented enough, you'll always be alright. But it's just the way the guys prepare, the attention to detail, and the intensity that the guys train in. You know, so that's just been the difference from me from under 19, obviously amateur cricket and franchise cricket. It's just the intensity, the way the guys prepare, and just the attention to detail. You know, so that's
yeah,
been a yeah, massive difference for me.
yeah. I know that your preparation techniques are really commendable. Can you just take me through your preparation techniques the day before your game? What do you do in your room, and how do you prepare mentally?
So for me, like as I said, we spoke a little bit earlier, is that like I always like try to keep things simple. So for me, I always want to do something that is like relaxing before a game.
Okay.
So I've always been a firm believer that less is more. You
Hmm.
know, so I just need to make sure that like I'm fresh and I've got energy for the game. So for me, purely, man, I'll just do something that's very relaxing, whether it's like playing golf or watching like a nice movie,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, you know, because I would have believed that like I've prepared well leading up into the game, you know. So when it gets close to the game, I try to reserve my energy and just make sure that I'm fresh on the day's game. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so there must be some instance where you would have taken a decision that you should be a wicket keeper. So what would that moment be? Do you remember?
Uh, yeah. I think for me, if I had to be a field, I'll be bored.
Okay,
There's nothing to do on the
okay,
field for me. So I've always been a person that like likes being busy, that likes like giving energy, that likes running around. And I think wicket keeping was. I mean, I never thought that I'd be a keeper,
Okay.
but it's something that I took on, and yeah, I love keeping. I love keeping.
Okay. And one thing is for sure, keepers are always amazing people. But the other side, keeper's job is a thankless job. Have you ever felt, yes, today that edge I couldn't give for a game. Do you remember any one game where you felt that yes, I was a thankless guy today?
Yeah, definitely. Because, like as I said, I mean, there's I read an interesting article that there's always like maybe five bowlers or six batters, and there's only one keeper. So people
Yeah.
actually never really understand what keepers really go through. I mean, there's days where I felt like I kept really good. And it felt like an average day. There's days where I felt like, listen, today I was sloppy, and guys will
Okay.
say I was kept today. So I mean, in order to be a keeper, you need to love what you do.
Yeah.
It's you always by yourself. If you drop a catch, nobody understands. So if a bowler bowls a bad spell, and if you go out for a duck as a batter, there's always someone like there next to you. But if you drop a catch, it's the end of the world. So in terms of keeping, you have to love keeping.
Yeah.
And I realized that like you always like learning. I learned
Okay.
like some of the stuff from you. I learned some of the stuff from the guys in the team, you know.
Okay. Thank you.
So you're always learning,
Yeah.
it's a fantastic job. I love it personally, and if you want to be a keeper, you have to love what you do.
Okay, so which is the bowler, spinner? Name a spinner which you have felt very tough to keep for.
Well, it was quite easy because I knew the guys were going to miss the balls. So
Okay.
we had Saeed Ajmal. He came as a
Oh,
as a pro. And the first thing he said that like he's injured about seven keepers, like broken jaws, and that's a conversation that we had. So I mean, for me to keep to him, it was an absolute pleasure.
okay.
I enjoyed every moment. It was like a good challenge. Even though I
Okay.
didn't pick him, but I just knew that the batters were going to miss the ball, so that made my job a little bit easier. So in terms of like the hardest spinner is probably Said Ajmal and probably Shamsi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only pick him when I'm keeping, not when I'm betting.
Obviously, he's a
So
magician.
yeah, he's a magician. So I think those have to be like the other two tough spinners that I've kept to.
Okay. So, I mean, keeping obviously is a crucial job. It's like a battle between the bowler and keeper and the batsman, obviously. Um, okay. So, with Faf, I know that you've been with Faf throughout the season. I know 2 seasons. So, can you just narrate one instance where you've gone to Faf and told about, hey, I think this fielding setup has to be changed. Is there any one moment like that?
I think, I mean, as a keeper, because you always like get a feel,
Mhm.
obviously you'd know as well because you keep as well, so you'd always get a feel, or like your gut, or like in terms of like angles, whatever the case may be.
Mm.
So yeah, there's been moments, but Faf is a fantastic captain.
Yeah.
But there's been moments. I think as a keeper, it is my job to make sure that like the angles are right, and to make sure that like what the batter's trying to do. So it's a crucial job in terms of that. So it's very, very, very important to have like a good understanding with like your captain, or so I always spend like a lot of time, as you've seen, a lot of time with like
Yeah.
the bowlers meeting. I always like spend a lot of time with like the captain, just to hear what they think and what they're trying to do. So also I spend like a lot of time with the bowlers actually. So I try to understand their actions, and I try get the feel of how they think, what brings the best out of them, and stuff like that. So as a keeper, I think it also helps me as well as like a learning period for me. But it's quite important to have to give that information to the captain or the bowler, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So I mean, as a keeper, even a little bit, I know that as a keeper, I know somewhere down the line in my mind that I'm a good bowler in nets. How do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
rate yourself as a bowler?
That's what I took keeping. Because yeah, my bowling was never good. I actually bowled in one game. It
Okay.
was a side game for what is it for? It was like a Hong Kong Sixers actually had a bowl. That was quite interesting. I got a wicket. So that was quite nice. So I always like claim that. But no, bowling is not for me. Like I prefer keeping, to be quite honest.
Okay.
I love what I do. I love
I
what I
mean,
do.
Hong Kong sixes, you just have to do everything. You don't have
Yeah,
any
you
other
have to.
choice.
You've got no choice. You've got no
Yeah, you don't
choice.
have any other choice. Yeah. Okay. So under 19 World Cup, if you can just narrate some interesting point. Obviously you played the finals, right? But you were not part of
Well,
it.
I was reserve keeper,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, I didn't play. But
How did it
yeah,
feel? How did it feel when you were not part of the 11? And mentally, I just wanted to understand, how you took that in a positive way, and what was your, mind when you sit in the dugout?
so I think, interesting enough, you obviously know Ray Jennings. He's been my mentor since then. But
Yeah,
I met him when I was 11. He was coaching East Ends back then. And he said, why he's never seen me play or anything. So he said, I'll play for South Africa one day. So when I got picked, well, I was surprised, first of all. But I worked with him when I was 16 again, and it was like, listen, if you work hard and you score runs, I'll take you to the World Cup next year. So I was like, yeah, well, there's way better players than me. Show you why would this guy take me to the World Cup. But I think the communication that we had, he was quite clear with like what my role would be. So he said to me like, listen, you'll play 2 games this World Cup, but next year you're still eligible to play, so you'll play most of the games, you'll open the batting. So in terms of like the communication that I had from him, I was like quite clear of why I was there. So he took me there for experience and to be a senior player the following year. So which I did quite well the following year. I was
yeah,
SN 19 player of the year in 2009. But I think the communication that I had with him and the relationship that I had with what I still have with Ray, it was quite important. So that made things a little bit easy for me. So all I had to do was to make sure that I serve the guys, I bring in energy whenever I used to bring in drinks or whatever the case may be, and that was my role.
no, that's great. Okay, so as a keeper, when you field first, obviously you would know about which is the patchy area in the wicket, and where the wicket, how the wicket would behave for the second innings, and will you keep your thinking about the pitch as well while you get to be ready for the innings?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. For an example, I wouldn't. And those are the things that I've learned over the years. I wouldn't keep the same in the coast like Durban, PE, because obviously the wicket is like low generally there.
Yeah,
So most of the times opportunities will be like quite low and sharp, or whatever the case may be. Where when you keep in Joburg or Pretoria, the wickets are quite quick, so you can sit a little bit further back. So and in terms of like the angles and like how the bowlers are bowling or whatever the case may be, so you always like adjust and get the feel for that. But the wicket is quite important. So for an example, most of the stumpings that people miss in the coast will be quite low.
yeah,
In the high field, because of the bound to be like quite high.
yeah,
So for example, if I'm keeping to a spinner in the high field, I'll stand up like a little bit early or whatever the case may be. And if I'm keeping to a spinner in the coast in Durban, whatever the case may be, I'll stay lower for longer or whatever the case may be.
yeah,
So but also that also comes with like as I said, bowlers. I get like study their actions and get the feel of like how they think and what happens when things go wrong or whatever the case may be. So wickets, yeah, they definitely make a massive difference. They do. They do.
yeah. Okay. In the domestic season, when you play different, genres of the game, be it list A's or T20s, how do you prepare yourself mentally, to adapt the conditions?
Uh, so, like as I said, I've obviously played for quite some time. So I've got like a better understanding of my game. Because obviously I'm a little bit older now than when I was younger. But I think for me, it's just like again, like as we spoke earlier, just like the basics. So if I know that, like for me, I know that like I hit the ball well, I'm a good striker for ball or whatever the case may be. So generally, when I prepare in any format, I'd always work on like my hands, position, and just making sure that my head is nice and still. So I try to keep it as simple as that. And I think just mentally, it's also just maybe like having a feel of like the bowlers or the preparations or where you're playing or whatever the case may be. But other than that, I always like try to keep things simple, to be honest.
So you always follow the instincts and the simple logics of the game.
Basically, yeah. Basically, I've always been
Yeah.
like an instinctive player, but also like I realized that like it is important to prepare very well, and just to make sure that like you've got your basics covered, as we've been speaking about. Because I've been speaking a lot about basics and keeping things simple. But yeah, as long as I've got that, then I feel that I'm confident in my game, and I feel like I can do the job.
Okay. So the introduction which I gave for you was, a disciplined cricketer. I've always seen you learning, the learning process have never been stopped throughout the Mizansi Super League, the first season when I saw. It is about you wanting to know what is the extra edge which I can give it, bring it to the table. That was only question you always keep raising in the team meeting. So what kind of thought process goes into that? To be an youngster, obviously, being with the stalwarts of all the South African cricket, Faf, the national captain is there. Do you want to sort of you want to make an impression there?
Or maybe just my personality, I never felt that you always like stop learning or stop growing. And I know I spent like a lot of time with you
No,
when you were with
the
us.
reason why
You know?
I'm bringing this to the conversation is I've seen you bringing notebooks and pen to the meetings. You've been
Yeah.
so obedient, student of the game. So that sort of brings in the kind of brought up also, right? The bringing up of you into this game. I just wanted to know about that.
Yeah. Phew. And like as I said, like you never like stop learning. For me, like I've always figured that like the more information I have, I mean, I remember also one thing, we had a conversation. I was sitting next to you in the plane, and then she showed me my stats and where the guys bowl,
Yeah.
and I had to like go look at that and say, okay, cool. Well, these are my weaknesses or whatever, and this is valuable information, and that's why I said that like for me, I never stopped learning. I spent some time with the Cobras last season on loan, and
Mm-hmm.
it was fantastic working with their short prints. I mean, I sat every team meeting with a notebook, just like writing things down and stuff like that. But I always feel that like the more information I have, the better. Obviously I can't take in everything and make it work, but obviously I'll just like put down notes, whatever the case may be, and see what works for me and what doesn't. But I always felt that like you never stop learning.
Okay.
Like we never stop learning. Yeah.
Okay. So if you have, if there is a time machine, which era of cricket you want to go to?
I would have loved to play for West
And
Indies, but
no, oh God, I never expected this. Okay. Okay, now go on.
I would have loved. I've always loved the West Indies.
Okay.
Fib has always been like my idols, just the way he played, the confidence, and the reason why he played the game. So yeah, if there was a time machine, I'll go back and play in the 80s. In the 80s.
80s. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Okay. So when you brought up this West Indies culture, I remember that Paul Rock's winning moment after we got qualified. You and DJ were dancing. Your moves. Oh God, I cannot forget that, Monkey.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
So what was that? What was that moment which made you go and dance along with him?
Well, because I mean, like as I said, as I've always been a guy that brings energy into the team. I've
Okay.
always been a guy that like makes it fun to play cricket. And so he went to go dance. They were playing his song, and Shemo forced me to actually like, go dance with him. And I was like, well, I might as well. Why
I
not?
was there.
Yeah, yeah, So yeah, I mean, we did it last year again with JP. So that was also quite nice. So like, yeah, I think my role also manages to always just like bring energy and just make sure that the guys are happy and be the guy that like, like sort of makes the moment chill when the guys are nervous, whatever the case may be. And I think also that's a role of a wicket keeper, so we always like
Yeah,
bring energy. We make sure that like
true.
it's nice in the team, So yeah, yeah.
So what's the difference between the first season and the second season? Why you sort of think, we won the tournament, right? The second season. Obviously, the first season was a sheer bad luck. I
Yeah.
could say, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
in the game wise,
Yeah, and I mean, I chatted to Faf and I chatted to the CEO as well, and I think the way they picked the team, it was unbelievable,
yeah,
and you would
yeah,
have obviously felt
yeah,
the energy and just it was like a bunch of good guys, So
yeah,
and I think what was good is that like we didn't really have, I mean, we had good players, but we didn't have like a superstar team. So we just prepared well. We knew how to win in PAL, And I think also what was good is that like everybody performed every single game. So we weren't relying on one guy, So it was almost like a team performance. So everybody that played or that was in the squad had like some sort of contribution, So which was good, And I think also we peaked at like at the right time, where a lot of the guys played good cricket earlier on, but we gradually like played good cricket as the season went, So
yeah,
I think that was good. I mean, for me, it was a bunch of good guys.
yeah. Okay. So is there any specific diet plans which you keep during your season, off season, and
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't been good. I haven't been good.
okay?
But yeah, I'm slowly getting back into things. So yeah, I mean, diet is like a yeah, it is a crucial thing. And yeah, that's some honestly speaking, that's something that I need to get better at.
Okay.
So I've been good as like I should, but
Wish.
I'm slowly getting back into things now.
Yeah, but I could see your Insta live still, your mic's on, your cordless headphones on, DJ.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
is that what you want to become if you not become a cricketer?
I just love music,
Okay.
music and golf. Yeah, it's my thing. It's also one of the things that I do in my downtime just to get my mind off things. So yeah, I just love music. I enjoy music,
But
and
golf is
yeah,
like everyone in South Africa, right?
yeah, 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 it is a thing. No, we love music. It's a South African culture, though, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Hechi loves golf. He loves to be, be in the golf course rather than in the ground.
Yeah, and I hope he's watching. Yes, so you better.
Uh, mm, no,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Anyways, okay. So,
Yeah.
so how do you see the future of South African cricket, Mangi? How do you want to?
Myself personally, or just
Yeah.
the future
No,
in
for you,
cricket.
for you, for you.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, I've always had a dream to play Test cricket. I'd love to play Test cricket, and that's one thing that's always been. And obviously, I know a lot of people like always see me as like a T20 player, one day player, but I love 40 cricket, and yeah, my dream is to still play Test cricket. I've got aspirations for that, and
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, it does work out. I'd love to wear the biggie green.
Yeah, I pray to the Almighty that the coming domestic season gives you a biggest break, and you coming back to the national side. You know, uh, we'll welcome you in India,
Yeah, no,
India with South
definitely.
Africa.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been there a couple of times, and
yeah,
I remember when we played the Champions League, we played in Ranchi,
yeah.
and it was such an unbelievable atmosphere. I've never
Okay,
seen a crowd like that in my whole life. So yeah, I've also to have like a soft spot for India. I've
okay.
been there a couple of times, so yeah, I love it there as well.
So how's the wicket condition you felt in Ranchi?
Well, I mean, we played against Donny, we played against Mike Hussey,
Okay.
So we got about 180, and they got it with like 3 overs to spare. So
Okay.
I assume the wicket was very good. The wicket was very good then, But I mean, it was like a fantastic opportunity. Like as I said, just to play in India. We played in Mohali as well. We
Yeah.
played in Delhi, So just the culture and the tradition of cricket in India for me was out of this world.
Yeah. CSK is always an emotion here in India. More than anything else. Cricket is obviously an emotion, but CSK means a lot to everyone, all because
Yeah,
of one man,
yeah,
MS
all
Dhoni.
of I was dirty, all of one man,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. I mean, just to play against him, it was unreal. Mike Hussey played that game. Shane Watson played. We played against Faf. So it was. Yeah, it was like an amazing opportunity.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. My next guest is going to be on 1st of July. Is going to be a CSK player.
Oh, okay, quality. I'll
Yeah.
definitely join in. I'll make sure that I join
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
The name which you mentioned, the Mr. Cricket.
Is it? Oh, quality. I'm definitely gonna tune in. I'm definitely gonna tune in. So I'll make sure that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely mention this particular incident as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, fine. Thank you so much, Mangi. To spend your time, just to share your thoughts and your experiences. It was lovely working with you during the first season of MSL. I always admire you as a disciplined cricketer. Keep up the good work. I pray to the God that the coming domestic season becomes so successful and you come back to national side in a big way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Keep yourself.
thank you very much for having me, and
Yeah.
definitely you've played a massive part in my journey. And
Thank you.
I'll continue asking you questions all the time and asking you for information.
I'm
And
always there.
yeah, no, and thank you very much for your prayers, and thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah. Okay. See you.
All right,
Bye bye.
cheers,
Bye
my
bye.
brother.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you, guys. That's it for episode 3. Where in Beyond Boundary Lines with Harishankar. Okay. So the next episode very soon. Like I said, it's going to be an interesting guest joining with me, Mr. Cricket, Michael Hussey. Stay tuned on Wednesday, coming Wednesday, 1st July. See you. Bye bye.